other 48 days starts on September 22nd, the day of the crash. As soon as it hits the water, Goodwin starts running. He's running pretty fast, but I also think that this terrain over here is pretty okay to hike through. I'm actually going to come back to this later, as late as The Little Prince in season 5, with Locke's idea to take the zodiac raft cut around the horn of the island and then travel quickly to the orchid, which is nestled here. The amazing opening sequence is filmed at Makulea Beach. We've seen this beach before. It was originally the midsection crash site beach, one of the many times the crew reused locations. It is after all a beautiful beach. The reason why I put this location here is due to the shot from A Tale of Two Cities. The curvature of the island here puts the crash site here, which is also why I think the small islets here are underwater, or else we would see them. Goodwin has been running through this valley. He first heard Bernard up in the tree and then arrive at the beach. Ana Lucia and him run into the jungle. They help Bernard down. Even though Ben says in the season 3 premiere that he wants lists in 3 days, Goodwin delivers things on the very first day. He manages to sneak out and then inform the rest about 4 people they would want to kidnap to their group, Echo being one of them. He comes back to the Tailies. This is all off screen. That night, 3 of the adults are taken, and Echo kills 2 of the others with a rock when they try to take him. The others have now taken
3 of the people are missing. The blonde guy, the curly-haired guy, and the German who was helping us with the injured.
Did you see anything?
A lot of Tailies die. Nathan is going to the bathroom. Fun fact, Nathan was originally going to be played by Michael Emerson. Luckily, Mr. Emerson landed a much better role later in season 2. At some point, Goodwin comes back to the others with a more detailed list of good people. He will also speak highly of Ana Lucia, although she is not on the list. He'll sneak back into the group. In between here is a deleted scene, where a crate of boomerangs arrive at the beach. I think it's worth mentioning, since Anna prepares a boomerang spear on day 12, so even though the scene is deleted, I think it really happened. Later that night, 9 people are taken, including the kids. What's fun about the people they took from the tail section is that the show is pretty consistent with its background cast. They appear later in the show as people that are part of the others. The Tailies leave the beach camp and try to find a new spot far away from the others. This is where Goodwin needs to trek them carefully so that they won't see any of the important places on this side of the island, but still be in close proximity of the others. I think Goodwin will lead them through here. They walk for 3 days. I'm gonna fill in the blanks on where they walk. 3 days is a lot, so I'm thinking they will all be around here on the north side of the island. We have stuff like the photo statue, the decoy village, the Pala ferry dock, the orchid station, and more that they will have to avoid. They come to a good spot over here with a nice stream.
You know what? Don't want to keep walking? Go ahead. Fresh water, rock wall at our backs, lots of fruit trees. Right here looks pretty good to me.
Here, Anna will build the tiger pit, and not too far from it lies the arrow. They're gonna discover it in a few days. Anna throws Nathan in the pit.
If he really were one of them, why would he still be here?
I don't know, but I'm gonna find out.
Echo has been giving him food. Later in the night, Goodwin kills him. In an off-screen scene, he might have dragged him through the jungle and tossed him someplace. He could have carried him to the flame, where Mikhail could dispose of the body or bury it. While Goodwin ran back to the Tailies camp. It is morning. Cindy checks the tiger pit. Nathan is gone. They keep moving and end up at the beach. They're still close by the tiger pit. Probably camp here for a night and then continue until they find the arrow. One thing I didn't get a chance to mention about the arrow in the episode Anne found was the filming location, because I think there is some conflicting information, or that they shot things in 2 places. The exterior of the arrow door is shot near a rock wall in Kualoa Ranch, particularly underneath this rock formation called Kissing Monkeys. But the surrounding jungle over here is shot at the Waihea Trail. You can see those mountains in the background and the lush jungle area. So I think it's 2 locations. This isn't the only time the show will do this. In the series finale, they'll combine 2 lava rock locations. Everything behind Jack is shot at Lanai Lookout, but everything in front here with the ladder down to the cave, it's shot at Spitting Cave. The Tailies go in. This time we get to see much more of the station than last time. There are some boxes here with some blankets, a glass eye, a radio and a Bible. We'll learn later that Radzinski cut out a piece of the orientation film. He must have been pretty adamant on hiding this piece because he hid it inside a Bible, and either he or someone else traveled to the station that is the furthest away from the Swan and hid it. Anna and Goodwin go uphill to try to get a signal. Shot at Kaawa Valley in Kualoa Ranch. They're not too far away from the flame. For all we know, Goodwin might have planned something here with Mikhail. But it didn't go well, because after Anna and Goodwin talk, she kills him. She leaves the body and go back. The episode does a big jump in time. Goodwin is actually killed off before Ethan, and the next scene with the tailsection survivors have them contacting Boone with the radio. It's almost 2 weeks now with nothing. Well, almost nothing. In an off-screen scene, Ben realizes that he has lost contact with Goodwin. He sends Pickett and Tom to track the tailsection survivors, going by the same route, or mostly the same route. If Mikhail had any contact with Goodwin, he might have clued them in on where they were. Luckily, the Tailies are now hiding in the Arrow, so Tom and Pickett won't find them. However, they will find Goodwin's body. They go back to the barracks and inform Ben about it.
What's wrong? I need you to come with me.
Scene here will be seen in the episode The Other Woman. Ben takes Juliet here to this valley. There has been some debate on when this scene takes place, and I know that some place it much later in the show, but I think it's before Jin is washed up on the shore, since Goodwin's body looks okay and he hasn't been dragged down by boars. He's still laying on the grass in Kualoa Ranch. Ben and Juliet argue and then go back to the barracks. The days go by for the Tailies. Then we jump to day 41. Bernard talks to Boone on the radio. Anna goes to a stream. This is part of the same stream they were at in the previous camp, the one Nathan set up, which is why the Tiger Pit, this camp, and the Arrow are all pretty close by.
Libby.
On day 45, Cindy and Libby are at the beach and they find Jin. Cindy runs back to the group and brings them to the beach. They tie him up while discussing him with the rest of the group. And now we've come to the end of the episode, where we see a montage of events leading up to the ending of Abandoned, where we left off last week. Next episode takes us finally back to the Swan Station with Collision.